Earphones on. All right.
John, we are live.
Now we're live.
It feels good to be live, John.
No, it feels good to be alive. Many
It
people
does.
don't make it to our age. So,
Except for...
Father Tim.
Oh, wait, this isn't even the show. He's
Yeah,
not
it's not even
even
the show
here.
yet. Okay, ready? He won't see this unless they watch it live. Unless he watches the video.
Is
All
Craig
right.
Yen watching right now? That's all I want to know. He was tweeting at me.
Did you tweet out the link?
I
You didn't
didn't
tweet
tweet
out the
out the
link, did
link, but
you? Yeah. Well, then he can't watch us because we don't really show the link. Nobody watches live.
should I tweet out the link?
No.
Come on, let's do it.
All right. Well, you can do it. I'm not going to.
That's kind of scary, John.
Well, we usually get the one person from Australia.
And some Eastern European bloc person.
Right. They say, what is this? What are you talking about? You guys are weird. All right, John, edit here. Hello and welcome to Goatlandia. Grumpy, old, aged teachers. I always almost say something different there.
What's that, John?
I almost put in a different A word, if you can believe that. And I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon, where I was just at the South by Southwest EDU conference. I was sponsored there by Pearson, Houghton Mifflin, Microsoft, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Teach for America, Michelle Rhee, Arnie Duncan. All those people probably have booths at South by Southwest EDU, but yet it's an innovative conference, Scott. It's an innovative conference where the best thinkers in the world are there. I'm going to go to the panel tomorrow. I'm going to fly back on my private jet tomorrow, and I am going to one of the sessions is going to be from brioche buns to Reddit, beyond innovation in the classroom. I just made that one up, by the way. Of my fake South by Southwest panel. They have a fake South by Southwest panel maker where it just puts in a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I love that they do, Scott, too? They also go that says, the death of the LMS, long live LMS. You know, that's like a title. You know, that's catchy to the South by Southwest people. Anyway, that's my little rant about South by Southwest. I didn't even introduce you, so we're going to go down, and we're going to go to Father Tim's little brother, and that is...
I don't even know if you're hearing me right now. My computer is so glitchy tonight, John. I am Scott Bedley, SCOTTEACH, on
The Twitters.
the Twitters.
Very good. I know. I already went grumping I went grumping South by Southwest style already. South by Southwest has got me grumpy. I wish I could. This is where they need to make something. I have it for my Facebook where you can mute certain hashtags and then you don't have to see them in your Twitter feed. That's
Is that
very
true?
useful. I have it for Facebook. I just don't have it for Twitter. There's got to be something out there. If somebody finds something, let me know. That it would be really useful during South by Southwest EDU time. Yeah.
John, this just in.
Yes?
People are tweeting to the hashtag South by Southwest EDU.
Because they are edu awesome, edu famous, and edu important.
True.
All of them. They are.
They're learning. Hey, they're learning down there, so.
They're collaborating. And you know what? It's all about the Benjamins. That's what that conference is about. It's all about the money. I went to the first one. I've been to like all of them except for this one. It's amazing to watch it sell out and jump the shark so fast. Like so fast. We were talking about this earlier. South by Southwest, since I used to live in Austin, South by Southwest, like the music festival, used to be a thing where, like, you know, cool bands would come in the 90s and, you know, you'd pay like $40 for a wristband and you could see a whole bunch of bands that were like, you know, hungry for a record contract or a CD deal or a single deal or whatever they were hungry for back then in those days before we had in the Napster days, I guess. But
Wait, what's
now,
Napster?
yeah, Napster, the Napster days. I've been too busy watching The Social Network again. But the funny thing is, along the way somewhere when I was living there, it was you can pay $700 for a wristband, and you can wait 9 to 12 hours in front of a small club, and maybe you can see Prince, or maybe you can see Justin Timberlake. And I'm thinking, somewhere along the way, I don't know if people noticed, but it's really sold out. It used to be $40. You get to go see some good music. You wouldn't have to wait in lines. You could just go see whatever you want. It was very casual. Now it's like, this corporate booth sponsored by Sky Vodka. Come over here and you can see, I don't even know, De La Soul. Give it on the top of this garage, and then I don't know.
John,
It's ridiculous.
Listen. One of my good friends travels with De La Soul and takes pictures of them, and they're awesome guys.
No, I love De La Soul. I'm just saying it's somewhere along the line. All right, so let's see. Foo Fighters. Let's say then. Sky Vodka, sponsored by here. Come see the Foo Fighters. Wait 20 hours with your $700 wristband. Get a free shot.
You know what? You can get your wristbands early if you own a Platinum Visa card, because Visa is everywhere you want to be, John.
That's right. Hey, what's the big deal about Costco not taking American Express anymore? That seems to be a big deal. Have you heard that?
Is that a thing now?
That's a thing. I think they're moving to Visa.
Wow.
That's more in my wheelhouse. American Express card. If I have to pay the whole bill off, forget it. I'm not doing that. I might as well just go to the currency exchange down the street and borrow money. Get my payday title loan or something.
That's really bad news for me. It was hard enough to get out of there under $100 when I was paying cash. Now, if there's Visa, wow.
I know. It's going to be bad news.
I'll have 7 TVs, giant ones. I'll have so many boxes of granola bars, it's going to be ridiculous.
I would be like, I remember the first time I went there, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at that Oregon Ducks lawn chair, and then I sit on it, and Fatty breaks it real quick. I'm like, whoa, where did the screws go for that?
John, you know what this means.
Father Tim.
He can get some workout gear at Costco now.
Oh my gosh, he could get the Tony Little Gazelle.
Hey, listen, here's the great thing about Costco. I'm going to share an inside tip from Tim Bentley. No, this isn't from Tim Bentley, but this is from me.
Do we need a sound effect for that?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, new segment, Insider Tips with Scott Bedley. There you go.
So Tim had a basketball hoop that he had bought from Costco 9 years prior, and it broke.
He took it back.
And so he and I loaded that thing in his truck. We took it back, and Costco, boom, they took it back. Under 10 years.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
I promise.
Was he dunking on it? That's why he broke it finally?
He was. He was hanging on that rim, just Shaquille O'Neal in it, man, just crushing that. It was awesome.
That's good. I didn't know they could. I didn't know the rims could be lowered to 8 feet like that, so he could dunk on it.
No, he's 6'7". Have you seen it?
Oh, that's right. He's 6'7", and he could bench press a horse. Father Tim.
Double clocks.
Oh my gosh, we both pressed the Father Tim sound effect. I wonder what he's doing right now at 10:26 on a Tuesday night. What is? His coffee maker's probably going off right now. It's on auto set, so that when he wakes up at 12:01 for the day.
John, he doesn't drink coffee. It's his auto juicer.
Oh, that's right. His kale smoothie.
Tim's just gonna kill me next time he sees me.
I know. I'm almost scared now because I'm like 9 days away from seeing him face to face. Now he can really beat me up now.
And he will.
And he will. My hand, I'm shaking right now. Ah. I'll have to shake his hand. And now he's probably he'll probably take me in for a Terrio bear hug.
Yeah.
The David Terrio's a big hugger like that.
He is a big bear hugger.
He is. He's a warm, fuzzy kind of guy. I don't even know what that
David Terrio.
means. David Terrio. All right, so hey, what do you want to grouch about this time besides South by Southwest?
I don't know. Give me more of your South. I didn't realize you had such a adverse reaction. Almost like you're allergic to it, John.
I know it's
To
like
South by Southwest. What's up with that?
look at my claws coming out
I
right now.
know.
Um,
How'd you get there?
I don't know. I mean, you know what? It used to be. I mean, when it first started, it was just in this. It was in the hotel across the street from the convention center. It was small. Um, it stayed in that hotel, and the convention center is pretty large, and it's across the street. And eventually, it started moving over, and it just got out of control, and then it became like just a nonstop free for all sponsored by Pearson, I think. And then I don't know. I think that it's like it's got some kind of weird cachet for people that it really brings out the edufame in them, and they're like, oh yeah, I got a panel at South by Southwest EDU. I've watched some of the panels, and I've watched some good people talk on those panels. I don't know. It's not. I think that they like avoid conflict. I think that there are some people that are there that like I saw Diane Ravitch last year, and I watched her talk. But I would have liked to seen I would have liked instead of seeing her talk, I would have liked like a panel with Diane Ravitch like going off on somebody about like Common Core standardized testing or something, or No Child Left Behind. Get me Arnie Duncan, and then get me Diane Ravitch, and let's steel cage match them or something. That would be cool.
That
Do
would
something
actually be cool.
there. Now that's innovative to me. I don't want to see like Arnie Duncan sponsored by Pearson, and you're like, oh yeah, of course he's sponsored by Pearson. I mean, that's what I feel like it's turned into. It's like, here, this speaker sponsored by this, and everybody's trying to do like, I don't know. I wonder if there is like a 50 Shades of something, 50 Shades of LMS for your school needs or something, or we're going to, I don't even know. It's so crazy. And I think it's just gotten out of control now. It's like when I went there one year, they made you like take a picture, and you know what? I mean, it's pretty much standard practice. Okay, let's get real here with conferences. If your school is sending you to a conference, and it's a multi-day conference, and it costs like $250, let's say, and you're not going to go for like 3 or 4 days most of the time. You're going to take that badge and you're going to go for a day, and then you're going to share the badge with someone else. And so someone else is going to be, John Samuelson, who'd be like, oh, I forgot, it's supposed to be Joan, for the, my next door neighbor teacher or whatever. But at South by Southwest, they're going to take your picture and like a thumbprint, and it's like, I'm like, nobody wants to get in that bad, guys. I'm like, you don't need to go through all this high tech stuff. And I'll tell you what, I really liked Jeffrey Tambor from Arrested Development was the closing keynote last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he just told a story, and I thought it was really entertaining. And then just to watch the tweets where everybody's like, oh, he's not this and he's not that. And I'm like, quit taking yourself so seriously. I'm like, you're not solving the world's problems at South by Southwest EDU. And the funny thing was, Bill Gates was the keynote the year before, and he was like, he started off his speech and he went, okay, and he went into this big Common Core thing, and the thing was, Scott, that Texas isn't a Common Core state. So he was like, I'm like, did his writers of his speech not tell him that that's not a Common Core state? And so then he just looked like, he had no idea he was kind of like flustered then after that is what I heard. But yeah, and then I heard the one year before that they had Arnie Duncan give the closing keynote, and we all know how I feel about Arnie Duncan, but they just had
Wait, John. How do you feel about Arnie Duncan?
I feel like, you know what, I'm going to be positive. Arnie Duncan's a great basketball player, and they like had these shill questions from the audience coming in, like lopping up these softballs for Arnie. I mean, these free throws for Arnie to knock down, and people were asking real questions, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, gotta go," because he couldn't answer a real question. And so I'm like, I don't know. I think it's like a bunch of people thinking they're doing something really, really important, and I'm not sure they are. I'm not sure they are.
So,
I think they're
John,
there for the money.
what is this South by Southwest you speak of? I don't even know what you're talking about.
But yeah, there it is, South by Southwest. That's my
So,
thoughts, and I'm sticking to
so
them.
I mean, in all realism, like, yeah, that's easy for me to say. Realistically, like, you're just frustrated with some of these conferences.
Yes, I am. I know. I guess we're 10. This is our 10th show. I guess you could say that I'm a little bit frustrated with some of these, conferences that they just jump the shark and go for the big. I mean, it's all about money now. It's not. I don't think it's about sharing of ideas. I think it's about money. And we love Tracy Clark, and she was defending South by Southwest a little bit, and she's like, yeah, well, I feel like it's a chance where developers can kind of get with people. And I just don't feel that's true. I feel like it's where developers are trying to like find the next like funding and dollars so they can just go real quick and be like, okay, here, I'm going to sell my company, sell it to Pearson. And then I picture Pearson taking a cool idea that they would find and then going like Indiana Jones into the back room and then locking it up and like the Ark of the Covenant and just never using it because you're like, ooh, this would ruin our testing thing. Let's take this. This would actually be good for education. Let's take this and let's lock it up and throw away the key.
You know who was talking about a kind of a cool conference in a Voxer group was Greg Gardner, or Craig Gardner.
Craig Gardner at classroom_tech.
Yeah, no, he did something like Startup Weekend. Have you heard of that?
I saw him tweeting from that, but yeah, I mean, so that's one where it's just all startups. Those things are kind of fun.
Yeah, no, yeah. That whole concept of going from Friday to Sunday with idea all the way through to product or I mean, that sounds pretty cool. Talk about bringing people together that are education and corporate and whatever, bringing all those minds together to try to create something. That sounded pretty intense and cool. And it was more, small space, kind of intimate, connecting people together. That sounded really,
yeah.
Contact Craig Gardner for that one.
I will, but the kid's only 12 years old, so, or at least he looks 12 years old. I know it. Well, that's just kind of like those hackathons, where they sit there and they just go in and they're like, okay, we're just going to create nonstop and see what happens. I think those are cool. I think that those are interesting. But
is there anything like that for education that's like a hackathon? But is EdCamp the closest thing to a hackathon?
Sounds like what Greg was doing there. I mean, I know that there are some good people in Austin that are at South by Southwest EDU.
Yeah.
And they have the Capital Factory there, where they have a lot of startup things. And not to sit here and ring the gong, but on Techlandia, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have one of the people that is starting up an EDU floor of the Capital Factory. And he's a really cool guy, and so we're going to talk to him a little bit about that. So we'll talk about that a little bit. That whole startup world, it's an interesting culture. But I don't know. I think that I like that. Maybe ed camps are the closest thing right now. But it sounds like Craig Gardner was onto something there. It sounds like they're starting something pretty cool in North Carolina.
He usually is onto something. He's usually onto something early on too.
Yeah, he is. He's ahead of the curve.
He is kind of a guy to follow.
Right. And it looked like there's some good people at a different conference then, at the NC Ties conference or whatever. I think that's what they call it, or NC TAs. I don't even know. But the North Carolina State Conference, it looked like there's some cool stuff going on there.
I don't even know what is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Q of North Carolina, basically.
Hey, Craig Yen. Shout out to Craig Yen.
Oh, yeah? What's Craig doing?
He's tweeting. He's tweeting at Craig Gardner for us.
Oh, that's If we've got Craig Yen watching, we're in trouble. We're gonna get some tweets going. I wonder how Craig Yen's been doing. Craig Yen is going to Q. All right. So when it catches up with him when he watches this podcast, Craig Yen, are you going to Q next week? And if you are, we will hang out.
I don't think he is this year.
Really? He's been going to things too.
I know.
Figures the one I go to, he doesn't go to. He's scared of me, I think. Yeah, I might have shook his hand too hard. It might have been like the reverse Father Tim. Maybe I shook his hand too hard.
It's possible.
I know, look at this.
Hey, John, what do you think are okay? So, what do you think are the best acronyms in education?
Hmm. The best I love them all, to be
You
quite
do?
honest. I do. I love acronyms. I like to just I think that sometime maybe on a show when I'm maybe a little bit more awake, I think we should just take like 4-letter words and just make education. Let's do that right now. I don't care if I'm tired or not. Let's see. What's a good 4-letter word? And I'm just trying to keep
We
let me
talked
look
about
around the
taking
room.
the Sammer model and changing it to lamer.
Yes, we have taken the Sammer model and made it into the lamer model. That's a good one. What did the lamer model stand for? We had a good one for a
Oh
while there. I
gosh,
forgot it though.
it's been too long
It's been
now.
too long. That was like okay, so maybe we'll come up with that one. All right, so let's see. How about okay? There's a piggy bank on there. What about the pig model? What would that stand for? Products integrating grade levels. The pig.
I like that.
The pig model. There's a shoe over there. Okay, shoe, Scott. What would you shoe? What would you do? Students having
I would say students honoring other educators.
students honoring other educators. That's a great
Yes.
one. See, this is an easy game. We could play. We should invent educational models on this show and just go.
And just start, just if people are tweeting at them, it's great.
That's right.
Tweet at the shoe hashtag.
Oh, the shoe.
John, I was a little bit convinced
Okay.
that I like Twitter again when I tweeted an article. I don't know if you had a chance to read it yet
Okay.
about that Canadian mayor that was taunting like students in his district about snow days. Did you read that?
I did read that one. I saw.
Was
I
that
saw your
funny
part of
or
that one.
what?
Yeah. So he would just start tweeting and say school was almost canceled, but then act like he ran off the keyboard or something.
Yeah, and he would put just hilarious hashtags, and the guy was actually funny. He was just trolling the poor kids. They were like, "Do we get a snow day or not, Mayor?"
Hmm. I like that. I mean, so that means that that person actually had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Go figure. I don't. Wow, that's amazing, and he's probably not taking himself too seriously.
Well, listen, I think if anybody is good about not taking themselves serious, it's Canadians.
That's right. That's right.
It is.
Yeah, Canadians are good like that.
And I think we have a Q&A coming in from one Mr. Craig Yen.
Oh wow, I didn't even know we had the Q&A open.
There is an education-specific hackathon, and he
Oh.
loves the Napsters, and it won't be Visa until April Fool's Day, 2016.
Ooh. Oh, not.
2016.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer. I thought maybe April Fool's Day this year.
And that's a lot. That's a big joke on us.
So is it real or is it an April Fool's joke then?
I don't know. I'm gonna call it a joke.
Okay. Don't call it a comeback. You know what then? You'd be calling my marriage a joke because that is my anniversary to my lovely wife.
Is it
Who's sitting
really?
right beside me right here. Yeah,
April
that's right.
Fools?
April Fool's Day. I proposed on April Fool's Day, and then we got married at the drive-through window in Las Vegas. Scout's honor.
Really?
Same.
That's which one?
The one where Michael Jordan got married, of course. Come on now, Little White Chapel.
John, tell us more about this story. Did you get like the cups with your pictures on it?
No,
or-
but in a true fact, we had no witnesses whatsoever. So we had to pay for a witness, and the witness worked down the street at an establishment, and her name was Summer Storm. It's on our marriage license. I could show it to you. I promise. In fact, I'll take a picture before I come down to Q, and I'll show it to you. Summer Storm. We had to pay her $15 to witness our.
You're losing your rating
marriage.
on iTunes.
I said an establishment down the strip.
That's
True story. And then we
oh my
went.
gosh!
Yeah.
You guys
that's-
are amazing.
That's what we did. That's serious. That's seriously the truth. And after
And
I
Marnie was
proposed,
cool with that?
yeah, that's how you knew Marty was cool. That I knew that when I saw that when it said on that big sign that Michael Jordan got married there, I knew that my future bride to be would have to be down to get married at the Little White Chapel.
Now, did you ask which Michael Jordan?
Yeah, right. Is it like John Voight's car?
Yes.
John Voight, the orthodontist. No, well, I know it's legit because it was Michael Jordan and Joan Collins. So.
Michael Jordan marrying Joan Collins?
No, I don't think those two got married, but it was Juanita.
Okay.
It was Juanita.
Gotcha.
And I don't think that his new marriage to his new bride, I don't think that the woman that's a lot younger than Michael is, I don't think that they got married at the Little White Chapel. I think now if we get divorced, we'll have to have a big lavish wedding then afterwards. Just throwing that out there for you, Marn, as she's sitting next to me. So there you go.
Man. So
Wait,
Southwest.
listen.
Yes.
Wedding bells right there. So romantic. So romantic.
You know who else got
I'm such a
married
romantic
there?
at heart. You didn't know I was so romantic, did you?
Did you know who else got married there?
Who else? Father Tim? Mr. McNulty? I was getting our sound effects mixed up there. We've got too many. There's two of them. There's Father Tim and Mr. McNulty.
Well, you know.
No, Mr. McNulty cannot get married in Las Vegas. He's a Mormon. He doesn't want to get married there.
Why not?
Jeremy is a man of faith. He would not get married there. I guarantee
There's a lot of people of faith in Vegas, though.
Yeah, well, they're not upstanding citizens like Jeremy is. Jeremy is an upstanding young man, and he has character. And just because he has character doesn't mean that he is a character. Just remember that. Okay, so what can we talk? Are we going to talk about education, or we're just scatting and bebopping all over the place here?
This is just, I don't even know why anyone would listen to this, but
no,
thank
I don't.
you.
Craig, thank you. Bless your heart. Okay, so Scott, tell us please what your sessions are at Q next week. What are you doing? Let us know. We want to see more of Scott Teach, Toss Fair, at Bedley Brothers, all your Twitter handles. If we want to see, and do you have a sign?
You can follow Scott Bedley on Twitter at Scott Bedley. No one tweets from it anymore because Twitter won't let me into my old account.
Do you have like a little placard that you put out in front? In this session, it will be Toss Fair. This session will be Scott Teach. That would be kind of.
I kind of do a blend of them together.
Okay, that's good. All right,
Teach Edley.
I want all the personalities in my one session. So tell us about some of them because you are a big deal and.
Oh gosh, come on, jeez.
Well, I mean, you're a let's say a well-respected member of.
You know who's a big deal?
Father Tim. I know he is.
And he's going to be doing a couple sessions. Tim's going to be doing a couple sessions.
Mm-hmm.
One's for upper body strength, and the other one's. He's gonna kill me, I swear.
Kurt Reese liked my I'm working out at Burger King and doing Whopper curls joke.
And he liked the basil reader as a cookbook.
Oh, he liked the basil reader. That's right. I have the basil reader when I have a big bowl of pasta in front of me. So that's pretty funny.
Well, you know what? I think he's gonna be a lot of fun. We got some quirky little things planned for out there. We're not. It's not just. Is that the wedding license? If you're not watching this,
okay, so if you're not watching this live, can you see the mutual consent in the presence of Summer Storm, but it's spelled with an O, Summer Storm. And see the date, gosh. There it is.
How much did that cost?
You know what? I think the whole ceremony was about $115. Yeah, we had to get the license, which you have to go down to the courthouse and get the license for like $50. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was also maybe about 100, maybe that in addition to the extra 55 for the license, so maybe like $165 for our wedding.
You know what? And for all the people that have spent thousands on their wedding, mm-hmm. They're wishing they would have done the same thing you did.
Well, you know what was funny is,
Paid off student loans with the rest.
right, my brother-in-law kept going, gosh, I wish I could just go to like there's a couple people where I'd actually been in the weddings. They're like, gosh, this is so much pressure. I wish I could just, you know, just go to Vegas and just get it over with. And so many people had told me that I was just like, okay, sold. You
Yeah,
got me.
yep.
Got me. But there it is. So I don't have to take a picture of it now for you. You can believe it.
It's
Summer storm.
it's forever on Google
It is.
Hangouts if these actually work.
Yeah, if
Thank
it
you,
actually works.
Google.
Thanks, Google. Can you add more sound effects soon? Our jokes are running stale. Okay, so what else? So seriously, tell us what Father Tim's doing. Let's get some education. Let's get our education on. Come on.
John, this
Cue
just in. Father Tim is ironing his skinny jeans.
for the Q conference. Well,
Uh,
I tell you what, Scott. I have to say I'm excited to be a little help out at the unconference.
are
I'm
you?
excited. I'm excited to try and help out and see what we can do. Get some discussions going. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Have some, maybe just even have some people share what they've learned because I'm kind of at the tail end of the unconference, but I'm sure I'll pop over to the Hard Rock occasionally and see what's going on there because I'm supposed to be kind of like floating around to help out a little bit, and yeah, I hope that works out. Sounds like a good idea.
yeah. My concern for that is that it's supposed to be about 100 degrees during the Q conference, and yeah, it's a lot of people tend to want to just stay in that main building when it gets that hot. So, that's a tough thing if you're not in that main building for anything presenting.
hmm
So, hey, Terio's speaking on the big stage. Did you know that?
Oh no, what's he talking about?
He's like one of the featured speakers.
Of course he is. He's a great speaker.
No, he's an amazing speaker. I just didn't
Yeah.
know. He's going to be on the big 6,000, 8,000 plus seat arena stage for one of his
Cool.
sessions.
Well, you know what? That is where, as just a person that's attending and just helping a little bit with the unconference, that's where I like to come right down and sit right in the front row and just stare at him and make him nervous. See if we can make him nervous, or like make faces at him too.
You're not going to get like a laser pen and try to
Yeah, we can do that. Or I'll just take out the turn down for what button. Don't tempt me,
turn
David
down for
Terrio.
what? Da, da.
So yeah, that'll be cool. Well, so David, who else are some of the other featured speakers? I really have not looked at it that much
Hal
because it's been so
Davidson, I
busy.
know, is one of the featured
I've
speakers.
never met him. I've heard good things.
He knows a lot. I couldn't tell you past that. I usually stop right at David Terrio. I just stop right there.
Okay. Well, it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting. As usual, we hope that the bandwidth can be increased from last year.
It's allegedly has been so,
Okay.
and they also limited the number of people that can attend this year. So
Oh, wow.
those hopefully will be fixed, and Q should be a decent time.
It'll just be a decent time anyway because we will take David Terrio's advice and just what's that great sandwich shop called? That's over
The
there?
sandwich spot.
It's just called the Sandwich Spot.
Yeah, it's
I couldn't
fantastic.
remember that.
They have that Dutch crunch bread, John.
hmm
That's just ridiculously good.
Are we talking about the same place? It's the breakfast
Probably
place
not.
where they have all the Leroy Neiman paintings on the wall? You know what I'm
No,
talking about?
totally different place.
Oh, okay, okay.
But the sandwich spot's ridiculously good.
I like the breakfast spot that's like 3 blocks down, right on that little main drag.
Yeah.
And
No,
it
I
has
know what you're
Leroy
talking
Neiman
about.
paintings. I have a Leroy Neiman painting myself, and for the right price, you could take it off my hands.
What price would that be, John?
I don't know, just a fair amount. If Pearson has any offers, let me know. I
They'd
don't know.
like to sponsor that painting in your house.
That's right. Maybe I'll take it. You can have your picture taken with the Leroy Neiman lithograph. I think it's a seriograph. Whatever
Yeah,
that
no,
means.
I think it's going to be a good. And you're having. This is your second time at Q,
Number 2. 2 in a row.
John? What are you looking for this time? Because it's a big conference.
I know it is a big conference. Well, you know what I'm looking for? Just to hang out with cool people and talk with them.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, just that was when after I'd recovered from Father Tim shaking my hand, um, we did sit out in that little courtyard area. I think you came and joined us later after that too, and
Yeah.
I think Jason Sells-Car was there with us a little bit.
Yeah.
It was fun, and we just sat there and we just kind of, and then I had bought a bunch of saltwater taffy, and we pounded some saltwater taffy.
Yeah, that was good times. It was
Yeah.
actually a cool little spot.
Mhm.
You could overlook the pool and also inside the conference center.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was good. I'm
It was
looking
fun.
forward to that too. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get that same table and buy that same taffy for you, John.
Okay, that sounds good.
Deal?
You know what else I'm looking forward to this year is Carl Lindgren Striker not being as much of a dud as he was last year. That guy was a total dud last year. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Come on. You know
Was
what?
it
Even
really?
when no, he was totally sick the whole time. He was like, "Oh, I gotta go home. I can't play Cards Against Humanity. They might have there might be a curse word in that game." I'm like, "Gosh, who turned you into an old man like Father Tim?" Father Tim didn't come to the party, did he?
He did not.
Yeah.
He's no. We have dinner plans with Father Tim and Brent Coley, and it would be great to have you join us on Friday night. We're going to be eating at the Tropical,
Ooh, okay. Sounds
which
good.
is like I guess like sushi type food.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no better place to go to get some sushi than Palm Springs.
That's right. Oh, Palm Springs. Why do they have the big Marilyn Monroe statue in Palm Springs?
You know, do you want the history behind Palm Springs?
I mean, I just wanted a little bit because I was telling Marnie I took a picture. She's a big Marilyn Monroe fan.
It was a big spot for stars to get away. And Bob Hope had a house out there. I mean, there's a lot of people that had homes out there from Hollywood just to get out of the Hollywood scene. It was far enough away, the desert heat and what have you. You could build giant homes, and so it was a pretty popular getaway for a long time. And John, it was one of the number one spring break locations in the 1980s. So we spent a lot of time out there on golf courses playing frisbee.
That's, that sounds. I mean, it sounds like I remember that back in the day when I had moved, when I was a younger, more mature person, and I threw all my stuff in my car and drove out to Vegas and slept on my friend's couch for like months just to get away from it all because I was like 22 or 23 or whatever. I remember, so he worked at Fat Tuesdays. You know Fat Tuesdays, the daiquiri establishment? Have you ever been to one of
Never,
those?
never heard of it.
You've never heard of Fat Tuesday, really?
No.
Okay, so that makes the story kind of boring then. But they had one that sometime they'd be like, "Hey, go out to the Fat Tuesday in Palm Springs," and so they would drive from Vegas to Palm Springs, and then he could catch like another shift or whatever. And he said there's always like really good tippers. But it was one of those original places that just had like it has like a hurricane machine,
Right.
and then of course when you get those daiquiris for free like I did, and you drink several of them, you find out that they're like 1,000 calories each. So it wasn't really good for my girly figure. But yeah, that's kind of funny. But I
Now,
remember.
John, did you ever stop at that giant dinosaur out there? The same one that Pee Wee Herman stopped at?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I did. You gotta stop. And you ever stop at the big thermometer in Baker?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh gosh, you can't miss that one. All
No.
right, so I'm gonna give you
That's where I
something.
usually go on vacation.
You just stop in Baker?
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
I just go to Barstow.
They have the best Arby's sandwiches everywhere. Hey, we haven't even kicked in our sponsors.
Oh my God, we haven't even talked about our sponsors. Well, I think it's your turn this week, so go right ahead. You do Floby, and I'll do Chia Pet.
You got it.
Okay.
We just want to just remind you, that listeners out there, that when your hair needs to be taken care of, check out the Floby. No vacuum hair cutter works better than the Flowbee. In fact,
On the market.
Flowbee is the #1 vacuum hair cutting machine of all time. So check
That's
out the
true.
Flowbee at a retailer near you. Flowbee, get with the flow.
Flowbee, you know what? Flowbee, I saw another vacuum hair cleaning product, hair care product. And I thought, you know what? You're not Coke Classic like Flowbee. You're more like RC Cola.
Hey, wait, John. The people
Yeah.
at Voxer contacted you.
Oh, that's
Can
right.
we talk
they did.
about that?
No, we haven't talked about that. We haven't even really talked about it on Voxer.
We haven't talked about anything, really.
I know. Well, so this is kind of interesting. So Voxer, after I complained about them last time, going to all the edgy famous people and like being like they could dole out like free licenses like it was, making it rain like 50 Cent. And really, I feel like Kurt Allison and I were a lot of who helped people get onto Voxer, and I think a lot of people would say that we were people that helped them get on Voxer and make it kind of more of an educational thing. So they were just telling me about like their new features and things like that. So I talked with them on the phone for about a half hour, and yeah, I didn't get anything. I didn't get like a free premium or anything yet, but
What?
I have his Voxer, so I could, he said, he asked me what features that I thought could be an upgrade to Voxer, and I pretty much said everything. Well, I said one of the things that you had said, and then I'm in a Voxer group, and I'm going to give a gong to this person. So I'm in a Voxer with Josh Stumpenhorst, who was former Teacher of the Year for State of Illinois, and Josh had just said something that kind of bothered him about Voxer. So I told him that, but Josh, congratulations, is going to be one of the keynotes at the ISTE conference this year.
Ah.
So congratulations to him. If he can
what's ISTE?
It's just a boat show. Don't worry about it. And anyway, hopefully, I was telling Josh, hopefully he can start cashing in like Adam Bellows style with that if he knocks it out of the park. And so Josh had said that he didn't like the feature where it says like, you have a Facebook friend and it says so-and-so is on Voxer, and it's like somebody he doesn't really know. So
Yeah.
I said he thought those were kind of creepy. I don't think they're creepy. I think they're just annoying. The ability.
I get all these weird ones. I'm like, I don't even know who that person is.
Right.
Like,
So you don't know what accounts it's connected to, where it's all of a sudden like, how am I even? That was a girl that I dated in 5th grade. How did I don't want to Vox with her. I don't even know her anymore.
I got a notification just today about somebody named Michelle Rhee. Do you know her, John?
Oh, did you get? Yeah, I got that one too. It says Michelle Rhee is on Voxer, and so then I just got on Voxer and said, "Hey, Michelle, time to cheat on your standardized tests again. Pretty soon."
Allegedly, John. Allegedly.
No, it's been pretty much confirmed when she was the Washington superintendent. It's been pretty much confirmed, and teachers have admitted it that was their orders. She didn't like go and erase them. That was what she just did when she was teaching.
John, this just in.
Oh, uh-oh.
Tim Bedley is now doing 300-pound leg lifts.
Oh, wow! Look at him. He got up an hour early. He did not know that it was sprung forward, huh?
No, he didn't.
Oh man. So anyway, but yeah.
Is it daylight savings?
So did you know? This just in. You ready for this one?
Yes.
Oregon is thinking about not going to daylight savings time the next time it switches around. We're that sick of it in Oregon.
Listen. I don't know what I was talking about today, but I was like, the hour you gain in the fallback is not worth the hour you lose in spring by any means.
It throws everybody off.
And eliminate February at the same time, right, John?
Eliminate February would be good. Just make January, March super month.
Yeah.
Like 90 days.
What would they do with the Super Bowl then?
Right, it would just be in January, March like it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Marchuary. So the Voxer people anyway said that we gave them some good suggestions. One of your suggestions, Scott,
Yes.
not to be able to share. Like I could right now share one of my Voxers that you gave me with like Father Tim, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat my brother up when I see him at Q."
Yeah.
I don't know what that one would be, but
That
just
would
saying.
not be.
I mean, in theory, I could say that, or
Right.
you could go, John Samuelson. You know what? I'm sick of you, and then you could share that Voxer with Marnie, and then I'd be toast, and then I'd be getting a divorce. That one where I said, I can't believe she was a sucker and got married at the drive-thru like that.
It's a lot of pressure with Marnie there.
I know it is a lot of pressure with Marnie right there. I told her, no, I won't go over there. She said, don't. She doesn't want to be on there. Marnie is diligently working on making some stuff for a craft night, I think. Oh, here it is.
Oh,
Crafts.
nice.
Yeah. They're having some kind of, and they did a cool video with green screen. What do you think
Showing
is
crafts works really good on a podcast, John.
Here, right. For Craig Yen, here, look at what it looks like.
Craig is awesome.
Craig
I
is
wish
so
he was
awesome.
going to Q, man.
I can't believe he's not.
Craig, it's not too late.
Craig, it's not too late. You know what? I didn't take my free reg for the unconference. Maybe I should take it and transfer it to Craig. Does that entice Craig Yen at all? If it does, DM me, baby. They sound important there for a second. So anyway, so Voxer's going to have some upgrades coming, and they said that I don't like the feature where you could just share with somebody. Like you could also sudden turn on someone and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll get even with you, buddy." So I don't know. So we'll see what it does. And also, one of the things that it said was it might just have a podcast-like feature where you would just have one channel. So maybe it would be like the John Samuel. This is scary. The John Samuelson channel, and then it's all one-sided conversation. Which, if you're in a Voxer with me, it's all pretty much one-sided conversation anyway. But I could be like here, and I could be like it'd be almost like verbal tweets. I could be like, "Oh my God, the South by Southwest festivals drive me insane." And then if people could just listen to it, I don't know who would. I don't even think my mom would listen to it.
Yeah, she would.
No,
A lot of people would listen to it, John. A lot of
my
people
mom
like
would
hearing
just
you
to
talk.
get. She'd be just trying to get information on me, and she'd be like, "I got your number, Mister."
Hey, John, are we going to be doing like a, March Madness show coming up here?
Sure, we should do that. I saw that there was a March Madness thing going on with Brad Gustafson for his 30-second take, and so he put a bunch of people that had done the 30. Are you familiar with that podcast?
I am.
Okay, so then right, the thing I like to say, Brad Gustafson is a nice, wholesome guy from Minnesota, right? But and he does, he loves, what is it? I think it's VideoScribe or whatever he does the podcast on. I forget right now. Touchcast, thank you. He's like the master of Touchcast, but at the same time, he does, that little 30-second like Lou Albano versus like wrestling kind of education topic thing. But I keep going, Brad, I like the 30-second take idea, but it's like 5 minutes of you and all these features to get there, and then it's like they talk for like 15 seconds, and then it's like Brad for another 5 minutes. I'm like, it's the longest 30 seconds of my life. It takes 10 minutes to get two people to talk for 30 seconds because Brad's like, wow, here we go. And he's like one of those wrestling guys. Here we go. It's Scott Bedley versus Oliver Stinkton here. This one's gonna be. This one's gonna be.
Oliver's in California right now.
Oh, is he?
He is. He's out here in California. He's doing some. I don't know what he's doing. He's up in Carpinteria. Have you heard of Carpinteria, John?
Yeah, it's a great song by Sublime. I don't practice Carpinteria. I ain't got no crystal ball. Isn't that the song?
I think that's Santeria.
Oh, okay, sorry. But
you can get me on the movie stars music. I'm a little bit harder to slip one by though, John.
That's right. Well, at least you appreciated my attempt, my stab at humor right there. But yeah, so no, I have no idea where Carpinteria is.
Speaking of Carpinteria,
Father Tim.
He's running a marathon there this weekend.
No, are you serious?
Yeah. Yep.
He's gonna run a marathon?
He's a marathoner now.
My gosh, that guy. It's crazy. Well, you know what? I think on his earbuds, he listens to the Carpenters because he's so old.
That it's like a Milli Vanilli Carpenters mix.
Right. We've only just begun to marathon and bench press horses all through the night.
I love how I was trying to make fun of Tim. I'm like, oh yeah, his favorite band's Milli Vanilli, and he's like, they are not a band. They are a singing group, and barely even a singing group.
That's right.
I'm like, I can't even get that past him. I can't.
It's a Big Brother thing.
It is.
So I want to know when you're going to watch the movie Boyhood.
I watched it several times.
You haven't because it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes. I can't even get Marnie to watch it.
Do you know how many times I watched Dances with Wolves?
I don't know how many times.
4 times, John.
How many times did you watch Waterworld?
0 times.
Okay, because that's an epic saga too.
I couldn't get enough Tatanka. That's all I have to say.
Oh, I think Marnie likes Dances with Wolves. Marnie, you like the movie Dances with Wolves? Sure. She says sure.
Marnie's kind of my people.
Yeah, Marnie is your people. Yeah.
She likes the two sisters.
She does like
Kevin
the two
Costner.
sisters. She likes Kevin Costner. What else does Marnie like? She likes Moose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! You can even there's even vote now. Oh, now she's now
that's a
she
new
there
Google
was
sound
actually
effect.
sound coming from there on that one. Wow. Yeah, she's a big fan of the Moose.
I saw Kevin Costner at a concert.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What was the band?
His name was just Kevin. This guy I knew named Kevin Costner.
It's like John Voight again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just saw that episode of Seinfeld again. How cool is that? That is such a good show. You talk about when we were talking to JR a little bit, we were watching talking about just storytelling. Gio is really into the storytelling. He was really trying every question, trying to break it down into a little story time. He's really taking the Ira Glass thing seriously.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's interesting.
John, let me tell you a story about Ira Glass.
He's on NPR and This American Life.
No, I honestly did see Kevin Costner. We went to see the Counting Crows up at the Wiltern in Los Angeles.
Oh.
And I don't know if you've been to the Wiltern, but it's a pretty small theater. And it was the last show of their concert tour, and I don't even remember what album it was for. But they started bringing people up on stage, and all of a sudden Costner's on stage, and we're like, where was he at?
Wow.
And he was right down up front. He had just piled in with the crowd, and they were bringing everybody up on stage. It was crazy. It was a great concert, just because of the sing-along atmosphere. I like those sing-along kind of concerts.
You're going, na 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 na. Na 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 na. It's been a long December for Father Tim.
I love Craig. Craig Yen just tweets out, "I couldn't get enough Tatanka." In quotes, Scott Teach. Speaking of Dances with Wolves. Oh my gosh.
Gosh, I think it should be I think that they have this. I was contacted by these people, and they wanted you, and it's not a bad idea. It's they want you sponsor levels of podcasts because really pretty soon, my $300 is going to come up for Podomatic, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have to fork it over, myself. And there's sometimes where you just wish that people could chip in or something or whatever. But I think that it should be a requirement that if Craig Yen watches and live tweets your podcast, that you should have to ship him something so you know what I'm saying, like a sticker or T-shirts or McDonald's.
You got some stuff from Voxer, don't you, John? Did you get some swag from Voxer?
If I get those tightwads at Voxer to actually pay my $2.99 a month.
You'll
I
have
would
enough to
keep
keep
again.
podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching one of those late night talk shows, with a guy named Conan.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've heard of him.
yeah, he was saying it was pretty funny. He was like, some things you'll never hear. Hey, how are you? How'd you make your first million? Oh, in podcasting? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's pretty funny.
unfortunate. No money in podcasting.
It isn't. It's
Nope.
fun, though.
It's very much fun.
I feel like we haven't talked about anything educationally relevant at all, except for grouching about South by Southwest this show. And
I'll get
looking-
serious right now, John.
I'm not okay. Well, you're gonna have to bring it up here because I think we've got like 3 minutes and we're like at an hour. So I want you to close strong, educational wise.
Okay, so there's
Let's
a
do it like a
brand.
30-second. Wait, it's like a 30-second take with Brad Gustafson. Okay, ready? We're gonna square. All right, we're gonna do a point counterpoint right now. We're an impromptu Brad Gustafson. Maybe he'll put us in the March Madness real quick as like the
Yeah.
play-in game. Oh, that's good, Brad.
Yeah.
Play-in game for us. Okay, here we go. What do you want to take the point of? I will take Apple. You take Google, or you want to take Google and I'll take Apple?
Let's go certification versus uncertified.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna take uncertified. You take certified.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I have to speak for certification.
Yeah, you have to speak
Oh,
for certified
gosh.
teachers, or why teachers have to be certified. You want me to go first?
Pretty much. Then I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll take
No,
certified.
go ahead,
You
go
take
ahead.
uncertified. Okay.
No,
All right,
I'll
taking
take certified. You go first.
Okay, so uncertification. I say you could grab any person off the street and put them to work as a substitute right away if we didn't certify people. There shouldn't be background checks. There should be nothing requiring certification at all for teachers. I say any old person can do it. It's the easiest job in the world. The pay is good. Let's just get America to work. I feel like Frank Underwood and the America Works program on Netflix, House of Cards. Just grab in any person. Teaching is so easy. You don't need to be certified. It's all baloney. Your turn.
John. Let me tell you. Certification is the only way to go. In fact, I propose additional certification for anyone to even become Google certified or Apple distinguished or whatever else they might be. They need to be certified before they get certified that they're certifiable. So, John, I think there should be at least 15 certifications prior to anyone being able to be certified. And once they're certified, then they should be able to be in the classroom. Because without those certifications, without that proof, without that brainwash, I mean the certifications, they would not be able to really, truly impact. So, to me,
Education.
Tim Bedley, by the way, this is going to sell it all. Tim Bedley, USDA certified.
Mm-hmm. Top choice. That is good. I think you won.
Brad's like, there's no way ever that those
Brad,
guys
come
are
on.
coming on.
There's that game on Tuesday where they can play in and that team plays like the 12 seed. That's us right here. Come on, man. Yeah, Brad's never asked me to be on that podcast. That kind of irks me a little bit.
He's asked you to tweet about it, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he'll tag me in a tweet and be like, "Hey, share this or whatever." But hey, where's my invite? And I want to. You know why? Because I don't want to argue with people. I just want them to.
You just want a platform where you can.
I just want them to agree with me.
No, I think it's a cool concept what he has going there. I think it's a cool concept, and how much he spends on production is really amazing. So credit. No, I'm serious. Credit to him.
Right. Well, he doesn't spend anything on production because it's that app.
Well, that
Oh,
app
and he
is
has to have his green screen, I guess, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brad, you know what? Some of those administrators have got tricks. I know the second youngest principal in the state of California, and her name is Amy Fadege, and Amy Fadege has got some tricks. up her
Who's the
sleeve.
first youngest principal in
I
California?
don't know. She said she used to be the youngest, but now she's not. Like they must have hired Doogie Howser to at the Visalia the
They have
Visalia
stats
school
on
for
that?
yeah. Yeah, I think they get a memo. You know how those principals are so competitive. They're like, "Oh, I'm not the youngest
Congratulations.
anymore. I'm not. I'm the second youngest."
That you can't even compete on. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Right. I mean, what? Fadacia can't change her age. You know, this just in. Father Tim, the oldest teacher in the state of California.
He's not even close, John.
I know. Well, Terrio.
Terry is gonna sweep the other leg now.
Oh, Terrio. Terrio's gonna hug me and just not let go. He's like, "Come
Yeah.
on, don't."
He's gonna go for one of those Fight Club hugs. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
with
He's
the
gonna.
meatloaf. Or
We'll have a fun time. Should we do a podcast from down at the Q?
I think we
where we're in the
should.
same spot?
I
Yeah,
do.
that sounds
I don't
good.
think we should be in the same spot though.
Okay. Well, we'll have to be where Wi-Fi works,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, so
No.
we don't want to crash the system.
Starbucks.
Yeah, that's my usual spots. There's a bunch of. I think they have a Starbucks in Palm Springs. I'm not sure.
You think so? Hey, I'm paying for ginger shots this year. We're going all natural juice, John.
Oh,
We're gonna
really?
be working out while we're out there. We're gonna come back to our homes at least 2 to 3 pounds lighter.
Okay, so here I'll give you one. All right, so here's what we need to do. Okay, and I will take your juice shots because I like the natural juices. Marnie and I were just talking about that the other day. I'm gonna give you an app. Okay.
All right, give it to me.
Let's look at it, all right. So there's an app that's pretty cool, and it's called Meerkat. All right.
You shared that one last time.
Meerkat. Did I put that one on last time?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we need to do is we will at some point, the two of us are going to go to whatever Father Tim is staying. I'm sure that he's already vetted the establishment, and it has a workout room up to his lofty credentials. And what we're going to do is we're going to work out with Tim one of those times, and then we're going to put the live stream on Meerkat, and we'll just tweet out, and people can watch us do the workout. I think that should be a thing. And if Craig Yen watches that, then he'll be like, gosh darn it, I should have gone down to Q. What was I thinking?
We're gonna live stream us working out with Tim.
Yes, we're going to live stream us working out with Tim. I picture us with like medicine ball. Like that could be,
Oh my
if we
gosh.
made that video, that could be for Global School Play Day next year.
I see us with like 5-pound weights doing curls, and him with like 100.
That would be a thing. I would have a 5-ounce barbell, and then he would have a large rhinoceros that he
Tim Bedley,
curls.
I just want to tell you, Tim Bedley, I love you, brother. I really do.
Yeah, we love you, Tim. If you
And
weren't,
we-
you're so strong that it scares us. We only make fun of you because we're scared.
You know who else scares us?
Mr. Technology.
Not really. But...
He
Hey,
can
isn't
be
it like
No, he can be scary sometimes too.
Digital Learning Day or year coming
It's
up?
on
or
Friday.
what?
It's on Friday.
It's
Digital
Friday.
Learning Day. Yeah.
Tell me more about that, John. So if somebody hasn't heard about yeah. Tell me
Okay.
about-
Well, I will. That's easy for you to say.
I know it's getting late.
Digital Learning Day was invented by one Jeremy McDonald. And he went up to the White House one day. I think he drove in his broken down car. And this is before he got his nice new Ford Focus. And he walked up to Arnie Duncan, and they let him in because he's a nice guy, and he passed all the tests. And then he said, Mr. Duncan, I really believe that we should start trying to integrate technology into the classroom a little bit more. I think it would help prepare students for the future. And Arnie Duncan said, hold on, I don't understand what you're saying. Let me get my staffer over. And then the staffer, the staffer made it happen, and Arnie went off confused and shot some free throws or something. But that was how Digital Learning Day was created. Now, my question to you is, do we still need Digital Learning Day? Because It should be every day, but that's like saying, do we need Earth Day? Because Earth Day should be every day. Do we need Digital Learning Day anymore? Do we need people to think that they're like, oh yeah, maybe I should have my kids work on a Google Doc or something? Do we really need it anymore? Are
John,
there those people out there that
yes,
don't
we do.
believe we should?
We do need it.
My wife is nodding her head. She says, yes, there are those people out there. Okay, then
Yes.
we still need Digital Learning Day. But you know what? You should have been doing this a long time ago, my friends. By the way, flashback, there's my Reading Rainbow 8-bit LeVar Burton screensaver.
I like that, John.
Thank you very much.
Last year's Q.
Oh my gosh, we have so many pictures with LeVar Burton. I just took them. I didn't get in one. But he was funny. He was funny. You were there with us, right?
No, I wasn't there at that time. I don't know where I was at that time.
Why were you not hanging out with me? Don't you know I get all the behind the velvet rope and all that stuff?
Yeah, we had a good year the prior year behind the velvet rope, and I almost got taken out by Sir Ken Robinson's people, jumping the velvet rope to talk to him. Yeah, I don't know. I was my head gets on a swivel at that place. There's so much going on and so many people. I just get overloaded. I need to go find like a corner, like that table, for us to sit at that table. I could focus and talk, but in the hallways with everything going on, a guy my age, we just get confused and lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. I don't even remember what you just said.
What?
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
John, one last thing before we go,
Okay.
because I know we're on at about 3 hours
I
right
know. I
now.
was going to say we're about to split this into 2 podcasts. Go ahead.
Did you hear about this new crowdfunding deal?
No.
It's crowdfunding college athletes to stay.
Okay. No, I did just see that right before I got on there. You know, I saw that. So what is? I didn't know if that was real or not. So we can
It's
crowdfund college athletes. They just
to
get the money.
stay in school. To stay in school. So if they stay the whole time, they get the money. If they don't stay, they don't get the money. It comes back.
Oh.
And the amount that they get is like 80%, and then 10% goes to like their classmates or their teammates or something else, and 10% goes towards some other charity or something like that. But they get 80% of whatever money, and of course, college football, NCAA, is not liking that at all, John. They're not liking it.
It's interesting. I wondered how they were going to. Well, you know who doesn't like the NCAA? Everyone. Because talk about a bunch of crooks. I mean, holy cow! They make Frank Underwood from House of Cards look like an honest guy.
John, this just in.
Uh-oh.
The NCAA has just banned you from all games.
NCAA, gosh, talk about a crooked. They make Arnie Duncan look like an upstanding citizen. A forthright person that knows a lot about education.
I see you and Arnie Duncan bearing the hatchet and becoming
Q,
good.
Right?
Good
Well, is he
at
really
Q.
going to be at Q, Arnie Duncan?
Maybe through a little one-on-one game, or maybe it's 2-on-2 and you two get teamed up and you're skins and 2 other dudes are shirts. And you just.
So you want me to play? Arnie Duncan and I are in a shirts and skins basketball game at Q.
Yes.
And we're
I see
also
that happening.
live streaming my workout with Tim.
Yes. Q is going to be
This is sounding more and
unbelievable.
more like something really shady that I don't know if I want to go now.
You're.
Yeah. Wow. I don't.
You're gonna
We're
love
gonna end
that.
on that. We're gonna end on that kind of.
No, we can't end on that.
Okay.
Let's talk about Boyhood.
Let's talk about Boyhood, the movie. You gotta watch that at some point. I watched it a little bit today. Again, it makes me cry.
It
So
does.
sad. Yeah. You have to treasure. You know what? That's what I was telling my wife, Marnie, today. Got to treasure every moment with these youngsters.
Hey,
Because before
John.
you know it, they'll be grown up and they don't want to have anything to do with you. Just like I
Hey,
don't
what?
have anything to do with my mom.
Yeah.
All right, but we can't end on that note, I guess. Even though I laugh and chuckle, we know it's actually. My wife looks at me. We know it's true. Okay, so go ahead. What you got?
No, I was just gonna say, you know, if you were to decide what's more important for a teacher, and they were gonna choose one tool to use to integrate into their lessons, what would that be, John? I mean, would it be Chromebook? Would it be iPad? Would it be a specific website that would kind of key them in, get them going on it using more technology?
That's a tough one. I don't know. What we've been doing is we've been working a lot with our teachers on the grants that they can write so that they can, basically decide what they want to, we're pretty much giving them, they cite what they want to do for their learning goal. And then as we're sitting there on the other Monday, we had a big turnout finally. So we had about 17 people showed up. We'd only had 3 the time before and about 5 the time before that. So then to have I walked in the room, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's 17 people. Okay, so the grants are getting closer. People
Right.
do want to, get some of this money. And they kept going, okay, so now is this where I put in what app I would want to use or what, or the iPad or the Chromebook? And I just look at them, I'm like, mm-mm. I'm like, you don't put in anything like that. And they're like, okay, but so what's the dollar amount, And I said, there's no dollar amount. You just think about what you want to do with your, what you want to accomplish. Your students want to collaborate. They want to publish. They want to write across the grade levels, write across the subject levels, whatever you want to do. And then if your proposal is good and it looks like you're ready to change your teaching around, your pedagogy, then we'll say you've got this and we'll meet with you in May and then we'll discuss what your options are. And you know what? A lot of times I think the options are going to end up being, if they're 3rd grade and up, for me is Chromebooks with a sprinkling of iPads.
Yeah.
I mean with a smattering for video productions and things like that. I mean, it's good at what it's good at. Apple is good for the entertainment industry. It's good with all that stuff. It's good with GarageBand, iMovie. The apps are cool. The device management of it is, they should be, I don't know, they should give a refund to schools that they've sold iPads to because of the amount of money that's spent managing all of those devices. I mean, it's criminal what Apple. I really think it's criminal what Apple's doing. I can't believe that they would keep selling these to schools and not have thought of more of a plan to help people manage the devices. It's just a mess, and I can tell you how much of my salary they've wasted for my district just on me trying to fix and help people manage their iPads because they put in their personal one, they don't use the school one. It's just a mess. And so
It's a lot. It's a lot. And
I
get
can't,
into
I
if
can't,
you
yeah,
have 10 or 30 or a class set to try to deal with all that, it's insane.
yeah.
You know what, John? For some reason, I thought you were going to go with the iWatch.
Now, is it weird that I'm being serious here? Is it weird that the iWatch, I have no interest in that whatsoever? I don't
That's
even
weird.
care. Do you? But are you interested in it?
I want to see. I want to see what it does.
Okay.
I want to see, and why you would want. Why I don't know. Yeah. Our IT guy, who's hilarious,
Hmm.
sent me this picture of the iWatch, and it
Hmm.
said on it, "Reminder, this is
Hmm.
the same thing that's on your phone."
Right. Well, it's
So
like I did the quick update because my iPhone has really been, I have the Mambo iPhone. My iPhone's been really crashing a lot lately, just in several different apps. So I
yeah.
did the update today. So the update is the Apple Watch, if you can see it down in that bottom
Yep.
row right there. So then you go through and it's got this little thing and it says, here, good evening. If you want to pair up your Apple Watch with your phone, you can pair there. So it's almost like the new update was just like a round-the-clock advertisement on my phone. So let me see.
Right.
I haven't even tried, but let's see. Right, and then if I try and delete it now, it doesn't delete. Look, you can see I'm shaking right there.
Yeah.
So I can't delete that off my phone. So it's like a big advertisement for Apple Watch, and I think that's where Apple gets in trouble. So you can
They
tell me that you can
YouTubed
put
you, huh?
right. You can U2 me and put that out, which I'm fine with. But at the same time, I'm like, so you can do all that, but you can't help the educational system. I mean,
Right.
you've had this. I mean, how is it the fifth anniversary of the iPad coming up in April? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, I was in line the first day, and I bought mine, and I used it right away that first day. But man, it is criminal what that they don't get. You know, you get the stupid 10% discount. You used to be able to. I mean, when there was iPod Touch, you could buy one app with a gift card if a parent gave you one, and if you had the computer, you could sync it to like your 20 or 30 iPod Touches, and then they did away with that. It's volume purchasing, and that they never really got that straight right off the bat. And now they're saying that in September they're going to have some master plan, and they've tried to lower the age level to 13. And I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of districts that are looking for answers, and I don't think Apple is even felt the pressure to give one until finally when Chromebooks outsold them for the first time that last quarter. And I think they thought, oh, okay, maybe we should pay attention a little bit. But I don't even know if they are. It just makes you kind of wonder if they're like Pearson and all those guys and just all about the money. And they are. And I think
Yeah.
it's sad. I think it's a lot of schools. I would hate to even. I could probably do an estimate of how much money and time, like man hours, people have wasted trying to fix managing the iPads. It's ridiculous, and it should. I don't know. I really feel I love Apple products. I'm on a Mac. You know, I'm on a MacBook Air right now. I love the products, but boy, as far as managing them from a school district standpoint, they are
Brutal.
just oh, it's brutal. And the other end of the spectrum, the Chromebooks, very, very simple.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you. I think they both need to be in a classroom because, you know, there's just a valuable tool in those iPads if they were more manageable. And I think, you know, I don't know. It's a nightmare when the updates come
Hmm.
and you have to deal with that, and you know, I don't know. Yeah, the whole
And
account issue is just a problem, and it's just constant.
yeah, and they usually do the big iOS update in September, and that's right after you've kind of got stuff ready for your schools then. So then here it comes late September. Now it's a whole new iOS. It's it's not 7, now it's 8.01. I don't know. I wish they would. I hope that they get it together at some point because they are really great tools to use. I really think if you tell me if you have iPads, I still say the gateway drug right now for teachers that are scared is Adobe Voice. The Adobe Voice
Right.
app you can use very easily, and since they've updated it so you can save to camera roll, I'm going to have many samples that I'll be sharing on my Tumblr for my district coming
Yeah.
up here pretty soon. And so, right, I will say this: if you want some samples, I have started some different websites since we were at PDX, and so one of them's a Tumblr. Tumblr's the easiest one for me, and I'm just doing one where I put up one student project a day or one student podcast a day that's all student created. And if you ever look at that and you want to ask me, how we did it, I'm always happy to talk to you about how we did it. But yeah, I think that Adobe Voice, that's the one. That's the one for reluctant teachers. It's the one for teachers that aren't confident. I think even for teachers that are very confident, it's still a
Right.
really cool app. So, and I think you could use it K, and I think you could use it 12th.
Yeah.
So
John, do you use Digo?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I don't. I don't know why I never used those social bookmarking things. I probably have an account and I haven't used it for probably 3 or 4 years.
It's
Isn't that
I
weird?
could, yeah. No, I was just curious. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I know I've been checking out Kelly Kermode's Digo.
Uh-huh.
She has a public library that you can like follow along. That's just I don't know. She just finds incredible resources all the time.
Oh yeah, maybe that would be the one way I would get on just to follow her Digo. Because
Yeah.
some of the stuff that she shared at Camp Chromebook up here in Portland was great.
Yeah, she's legit.
By the way, Kelly Kermode, be on Techlandia next Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you
We could
guys, you
we
just
could
don't
actually
stop, John.
we actually pull a guest every now and then, you know. I want to say that
What are you talking about?
I had never met Ed Campos Jr. Until I didn't even follow him on Twitter or anything. And what a really nice guy he was too. He was a very very nice guy talking about redesigning his classroom using idea paint and all that stuff. It was really cool. It was cool. It's always cool to meet somebody new that just like he's got like 70-inch screens, like two of them. There you've got Chromebooks, iPads, and MacBook Airs. Like that's what they've got. Like one is 3-to-1. It's crazy.
He's 3-to-1.
Yeah, that's what they have.
How many kids does
Chromebooks.
he have? 4?
I don't know. No, that's me. I have 4.
That's right. And you're
So
3-to-1 too, aren't you?
that's right. That's right. We're always playing zone. We're always at best we're 2-on-1.
Yeah.
Oh man. So anyway, well, Scott, I think that we have clinched it now that we will split this podcast into 2, but that is okay. I don't
Are you
think we
sure?
mind. Yeah.
That puts us on cue for our next one, right?
That's right.
Hey, we could always like invade the BuzzMob booth and broadcast right from there.
Yeah, has the BuzzBob app gone live now?
No, I think they want to launch both the iOS and Android at the same time, so they're trying to finalize some stuff on the Android, but I'm pretty excited about it, that's for sure.
I hope they do it by Q.
Yeah,
Think they will?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be down at their booth a little bit. Those guys are cool. I
Yeah,
like
me
them.
too. We'll
Yeah.
stop by there.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, do you have it? We actually got serious there right at the end. Holy cow, I don't know how we did that.
You asked for it.
Yeah, well, we finished strong. That was good. And meanwhile, now Marnie has left, and she's like, I can't believe you guys do this for an hour and a half. She's like, what are you, crazy?
My battery's about to die too.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, do you have any cool final thoughts? Or let's do we got to do our final plug for a sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay, here it goes. This just in. Edufamous Chia Pets are now sweeping the country at a Walgreens near you. Our newest, what were the new models of Chia Pet last week? I forgot.
Arnie Duncan and
Michelle Rhee.
Michelle Rhee.
All right. Well, the Edufamous people just keep on going with the Chia Pet. Now there is the limited edition next week Q Chia Pets. You can get the limited edition. Only 100 are available. Carl Lindgren Striker Chia Pet. You can get the limited edition. There are actually 500 available of Ms. Victoria Olsen. You can get the limited edition. There's only 7 available for who'd be a lucky 7? Craig Yen, since they were making them and then they stopped making them since they knew he wasn't coming to the Q conference. And
Stars.
finally, there's only 50 available of the one, the only Father Tim. 50 because that's how old he is.
He's going to be autographing his Chia Pets out.
Yes, he will autograph his Chia Pet. They even have a little goatee thing going for it. So it's because sometimes he gets a little of the goatee thing going.
You got to be careful because I've seen him sign those, and sometimes he crushes those little clay things.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful. And by the way, he will also be eating chia seeds because they're very healthy for you. It is kale smoothie.
Oh my gosh. John,
Rim shot.
I got
We finally got a rim shot. How do we go an hour and a half without a rim shot? I don't know.
If I were to rank this show out of our 10, I'd probably put it at number 10.
Yeah. People will get better. We're just kind of we're loopy. I have to be honest. I have had a tough month and a half. I have really had some hard times. We went to the beach and it was beautiful. And we drove. You have to ovation. And by the time we got there, my poor son, his eardrum had popped, and there was just all this pus and almost like blood out of it. And I thought, what do we do? I mean, we actually went. I mean, it's not that high of elevation. It's like 2,500 feet maybe, and Oh, I mean, it was a great time, but then at the beach, he ran around a little bit, but then he was just wanted to be picked up the whole time. And so, like,
Poor guy.
even when we have a good day, it's been kind of like, and he's been home for 2 days now. So, well, when Craig Yen, thank you, bless your heart, for sticking around that long. I see him tweeting goodnight to us, and we will say goodnight to Craig Yen as well. But yeah, we will be back, and we will be strong at the Q conference. We will be talking education. We will not be goofing around with inside jokes the whole time. How about that?
Yeah, tweet at us too. Let us know what you'd like us to grow up about.
Yeah, we'll grump about a lot of. We can grump about pretty much anything. With you, when you've been in the game as long as we have,
We
not as
do
long
have some
as.
good. We have some good grumpy topics coming up though.
Yeah, we do, and yeah, maybe we can even Uh, um, I would say we could probably meerkat some of the sessions that are at Q if we wanted to, right? That's not against the
Yeah.
rules, is it? I mean, if it's there's a sign outside in front, you can where it says no live streaming, but we could probably do that for some of them. So for Craig Yen, maybe we should do that if we get to David Terrios and I'll sit in the front and live
Yeah,
stream him.
you can live stream mine. It'll be pretty exciting.
You never told us what you were doing, by the way.
I know. I tried to avoid that topic.
Okay. Who are you co-presenting with? How about that?
I'm presenting a session called Global Games with Joanne Fox. The Joanne
Ooh.
Fox. She's amazing. Yeah, tons of credit to her. I'm doing another session with the Tim Bentley. And yeah, and Brent Coley, he brought this idea to us, but just telling your story digitally, and it's more about how to tell a story from the perspective of a principal for a school, how to tell that school story, how to tell that classroom story, how to tell that student, let them share their story,
Hmm.
and then the digital tools that kind of go with it. So, but it's not about the tools. It's more about how to really communicate that story with the people you're trying to connect with and build relationships. So.
Okay. So Brent Coley. There we go. Craig Yen lied. He said he was going to bed, and then he's still tweeting a little bit. That Craig Yen. All right. Well, thanks for grumping tonight, and I guess the next time, all right, next time we grump, we'll wait a week since we'll split this into two, and then we'll see you at Q, and we'll do one live from Q. Sound good?
Live from Q. Sounds
Live from
great,
Q.
John.
Okay, that sounds good. And we will catch you on the flip side.